I just got tattoo removal, and every time I get tattoo removal on this hand, people are like, it's so pretty, and I'm like, I know, it's probably the prettiest tattoo that's been removed by that machine, but when you don't like something, you don't like something. And because I want to is a complete sentence. Just want to remind you that because I want to is a complete sentence. I thought I would come live and share my story behind why I created the No Rules Branding School, and kind of just like address the need that I've seen for it out there. When I first started learning how to build a business through social media, it was in 2011. So what is that now? 2024. It's 13 years ago, almost 14 years ago. 2025 will be, if I can do the math in my head, 14 years ago. I don't know. It's been a long time. I was 26. I'm going to be 40 in March. So I've been doing this through so many seasons of life, through, coming of age in my 30s, becoming parents, having 3 babies, moving multiple times, like all the things that happen with your personal life, with family, with, everything. And all the changes in the world, lockdown, just the way life was with social media back then versus now. I've been through all of it, and I have remained relevant with my proven system that I created back in 2013. So this is what happened. I was like everybody else. I was trying to figure out how to be successful with the business that I was running at the time online. I was trying to figure out how to find clients, how to get my posts seen, how to grow a following. It was all those same things. And so what I started doing is what everybody does, which is like, I think it's a rite of passage, is I started like emulating what I saw online. And honestly, at 26 years old, I really didn't think I knew who I was anyway. I think 30 is really, in your 30s, like, is really where you really just like embrace who you are, and you just really like know who you are, and you're finally ready to just own it. And I was also learning though, so you have to be kind with yourself when you're starting new things, and know that like it is part of the process in the beginning to feel cringy. But there's a reason why you feel cringy, and I'm going to tell you why. And that for me was because what I started doing is like, remember, like I've been doing social media full time since before there was Instagram. So when I started my Instagram account, I was already building a business through social media full time. And I remember everything back to when Facebook photos first were created. And I remember that everybody started putting the same Facebook photo up. Everybody who was in my industry all started putting up the face. This is a huge catalyst for me. And I too took the same Facebook photo and I put it up in my cover photo, and I immediately felt cringy. And I was like, this does not feel right to me. This feels weird. Like, I feel like I just didn't like it. And that's when I knew that I could not just do what everybody else was doing and feel really good about what I was doing. And so that was the point where I was like, I need to stop listening to everybody's telling me about social media, and listen to everybody's telling me about what I need to do to be successful and how I need to act. I was told things like, you have to be professional. I was told that, everybody who was teaching me how to be successful all like look the same, dress the same. We're all very put together and like, very just like prim and proper. And I was not that type of girl. And I found it to be it almost comes to the point where you feel like you have to change and you have to be like them in order to be successful. And I could not stand that feeling. And so what I started thinking instead was that I'm going to figure out a way to be successful with social media and my business in a way that aligns with me and who I am. And I remember, and this might sound so silly to you guys, but when you're in the world of like success and you're trying to be successful and you're plugging into that type of like world, there's not a lot of people out there that are encouraging you to lean into who you are and to trust in your own efforts and ideas and geniuses. It's a lot of like, do it my way if you want to be successful, or you're not going to be successful. And so I just started to tune out all the noise. I started to really just focus on what I wanted to do and the ideas I had, and to go my own way. And so what ended up happening was I skyrocketed to the top of the company that I was with at the time. And I stayed at the top of the company. I'm talking like top 10 in that company for 9 years, and stayed at the top of the company in the top 25 for 13 consecutive years. From 28 years old to 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, all the way through my 30s. And until that company was dissolved, I was the top of my company, top of the company, not my company, obviously, but the top of that company. And it felt effortless. I never felt burnout. I remember even somebody checking in with me when I had first achieved that first year of being at the top of that industry. And she was like, are you burnt out? Are you okay? Like, and I was like, yeah, I'm great. Actually, like, I feel energized. Like, I'm so excited to continue with this because I was in flow. I was in flow with how it would work for me and how I wanted to show up. And I remember the first time I got a tattoo, the first time I dyed my hair purple. I love you, Mom, but she messaged me and she said, they're going to kick you out for having purple hair. I mean, that's the kind of, boomers, like, that's how they were growing up. It's like you had to look a certain way. You couldn't be alternative. Like, you couldn't dress a certain way. Like, there was always something wrong with you if you were alternative, right? Like, you were on drugs, or like, right? Like, how's anybody experienced that, where like you just wanted to express yourself and you were like diagnosed? And that happens to me on social media all the time. People out there think they know me better than me. And here's the thing, you need to be the one who like stands in your power and knows who you are and what it is that like how you're going to do things. And so that success then, that track record then led me to grow a multi-7-figure business online with no paid ads, all through attraction marketing and organic reach. And over the years, I have been able to like teach bits and pieces of it. And I've helped thousands of women to get their foot through the door with understanding how to create on social media, how to make income on social media. But since there was such a huge demand on me, especially having 3 babies in the last 6 years, I never thought to be completely transparent, I never thought that like what I did was special. I don't know, like, I started working with a business coach and a mindset coach, and she was like, what you do is so like groundbreaking, and you need to figure out a way to pull it out and put it into a curriculum to teach people. And how this was born, and the whole idea behind teaching people to do social media the way that I have, was out of frustration. Out of frustration because I do one-on-one coaching. I have led a team of women for over a decade of how to be successful on social media. And I constantly felt like all I was doing was undoing confusion from what they were hearing from other women in the same industry who were creating their own social media trainings that were literally just regurgitations of shit I see all over Instagram. And I would literally just have to be like, no, like that is no. And it got so irritating and so frustrating because I could not help these women to make progress with social media because they were so effing confused, where I was like, I need to do something about this, because I truly believe that social media is one of the most powerful tools for women. Like, women, we have our this is our time in history. Like, my husband says all the time, man, it must be nice to be a girl. And I'm like, yes, for the first time in history, we have the leg up in something, and that is social media. And that is social media. And so the problem is that there's so much conflicting information out there, and you have so many rules in your head about what you need to do that nobody has taught you how to lean into social media in a way that works for you. There's no person in this world that can tell you, hey, your audience and you need this. The only person in the world that can have agency over your own personal brand is you. And the only person who will know what their audience needs the most is you. And so first, you need to build that personal brand. So I've been getting asked so many questions that I decided to actually do a pop-up Q&A this Sunday. I'm actually going to put the information here in the comments for the No Rules Branding School if you want to check it out, because enrollment does end in 3 days, and with that goes the $500 discount I'm doing for the grand opening. And so if you want to check it out, you can check it out. It has all the information on there of what you're going to get out of the 12 weeks with me. But in this Q&A, I did a masterclass last week, and I had 2 pages of questions. I was on that call for like 30 minutes longer than I should have been, because I just wanted to get to all the questions, and I had to end it because it was like almost 2 hours. And so what I decided to do is to do another Q&A this Sunday. So if you DM me the word hangout, it should work if you comment on this too. If you comment hangout, it should work. If it doesn't, just DM me the word hangout, and I'll send you the link that you can add to your calendar and you can come. I'm going to address like 2 pages of Q&As that I've gotten about social media, attraction marketing, my signature 322 framework, which the framework that I created is how I create social media when I sit down to create it, and the process that I go through in my brain. And that's really what I've been working on all year, is like, how do I take what I have built and how I've built it and turn it into a 12-week program where I can take women through one step at a time, step by step, together, and we can go through it together. Again, like if you drop hangout and it doesn't work, just DM me right quick and it should work. But how can we go through it together in a way that at the end of the 12 weeks, they can have increased their reach, double. I really believe you're going to more than triple your reach by the end of the 12 weeks. I think you could double your reach with just a 3-8-2-2 framework in 30 days. You're going to more than triple your reach after the 12 weeks. You're going to, if you already have a business, you're going to start to have customers, coming to you. And if you don't have a business yet and you're just like, well, I want to learn how to do social media. I know I want to make income with it. I just don't know what I want to sell or what I'm going to offer yet. And is that for me? Yes, that's for you too, because again, this is where you need to get out of the mindset that you are a product, that you are selling a product when you are the product, right? Like you are the brand and the personality behind what it is, whatever it is that you want to help people with. And so like all the questions that I get, I'm like, man, I need to take you to school. We got some unlearning to do. And I'm a homeschool mom, like I'm self-made, I'm a college dropout, and I am proud of it. Although I did go to school for multimedia design. So I did take a lot of my audio visual communication and cinematography and photography, 20 years of photography and videography experience. And I did take all of that, and that did help me with being good at conveying my message through audio video communication, which I'm also going to teach in the school. So you can take my $80,000 of college credit and you can just have it. You can have the information that I learned without paying the $80,000 in my college debt, which has been paid off for a while now. But man, I wouldn't say any education is a waste of time. Even just, sometimes going through something, you realize like that isn't for you, and that's the lesson you learn. I don't know. And that's how I feel about college. Like I wish that I had different direction other than like go to college, get a degree. I could have probably done a lot more in that 8 years that I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, but I'm grateful that entrepreneurship, that being able to grow a business through social media by helping people and with health and wellness, and has branched into business and life coaching. And now I get to help people to, be able to learn social media in a way that you can do it quickly. You will never run out of ideas. You're going to be so excited to show up on social media again. Back when Instagram was new and we all loved posting on it, you're going to feel like that again. And you're going to have people coming to you for your business or just to build your community. If that's something you want to do, if you just want to build your community and you want to do brand partnerships and or something like that, like I see girls like taking their social medias and they're doing all kinds of creative things with it. And the point is that you're going to be able to own it. You're going to be able to own your personal brand, so that if you are partnered with a company like I was that, you know, pulls out the rug from under you, it doesn't matter. Like all the women that I have worked with, you know, the thing that I feel very proud about with the team that I built is that all those women who did take the training that I taught them and they applied it and they went and they built their personal brands, they're now taking their personal brands and they're using those to do other things. They're pivoting and they're having success with it, because I never taught them, hey, you need to be the business you are, you need to be the service you offer, you need to be the product you sell, you need to be yourself. And so now when they go and they pivot and they're like, well, I want to now represent this company, or I want to build my own thing, or I'm going to open up my Instagram subscription services or whatever. One of the women that the success story that I told you about, Sam, she makes a couple $1,000s off her Instagram subscription, or she was making it, you know, and now that she's not, you know, partnered with the company she was partnered with anymore, she's going all in on growing her Instagram subscription to replace that income, because she has grown her following. And now she has that kind of like, you know, that mental baggage cleared up so that she can go and focus on other things just like me. And it's a blessing in disguise. But that's why I want to teach you how to build a personal brand. Because no matter what it is that you are doing, like your audience should be able to come with you wherever you're going if they're invested in you, if they like you, if you've helped them, if you've connected with them. And the thing that you're missing is that this is not all about making money. This is not all about monetizing your scroll. This is about loving being on social media again, creating content, being creatively free to be yourself with all the judgments and people who like have nothing better to do than to sit around and judge other people, and you don't give a fuck because you're just living your best life. Like, that is what I want for you. I want you to just like listen. Yes, there's going to be people who judge you, but you know who judges you the most? You judge you the most. The reason why you're not showing up on social media and the reason why you care so much about what people think is because you're being the most judgmental. So anyway, I just want to let you know that's happening, and I wanted to tell the story behind the No Rules Branding School. It really came about out of just like a frustration of constantly having to, you know, work up against these people. I'm trying to like move. The sun keeps like moving, so I'm trying to move up and away from the sun. It just came from the frustration of constantly having to like have people learn things and be like, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about niching down? And I'd get so mad, and I'd be like, maybe I should like pay attention to how passionate I'm getting about this question. And that's really where it started, where I was doing a training, and I used to do all these social media trainings, and I got this question, and she was like, what about niching down? And I got so mad because somebody in the company I was with had just like released like her social media training school, and it was all about niching down. And I had talked to somebody who was going through it, and she's like, well, it's not working yet. I know it's about like the long game. I'm like, if it's not working for you yet, I just got so mad. I'm like, because it's a bunch of bullshit. It's a trend. It is not something that is proven to have worked for over a decade, like my processes are and my systems. And so I was like, I need to do something about this. If I'm going to be so angry about it, and I'm going to be so frustrated with how much this is slowing people down, then I should probably do something about it. And I should teach people a better way to do social media, and a more fun way that is going to get them better results and help more people and build a more engaged community. I can sit around and talk shit, or I can actually do something to actually help people. And so that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, that is how it was born, out of sheer frustration for all the people who are trying to be successful on social media, and all of the information that is being fed to you that is literally making it harder for you. And it's really what's pissing me off. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. I just wanted to I just want to tell the story of how this all came about. I've been there before. I've been the person who was in the learning seat, having to learn from people who were trying to teach me how to do things in a way that did not work for my brain. And so I created this approach, like the 8 principles to building your personal brand. The whole approach that is in my curriculum is to teach you, like my 3-2 framework, for example. It will teach you how to create your own posted calendars rather than constantly going and grabbing other people's posting calendars and doing them and they're not working. And there's a reason why it's not working. And I'm going to tell you why in the school. I'm going to teach you why. And my biggest thing I'm passionate about is empowering you to know how to do things on your own and to figure out your own way to do things that only works for your brain so that you can be successful in your own way. Rather than constantly taking advice from other people on how to do things when they're totally just pulling it out of their ass. Oh my God. Okay, I should go. Bye.